Hey everybody, it's Kelly from Sillyman Quilting Co. Welcome. It's been a while since I've done a video. There's been a lot going on. If you subscribe to my newsletter, you know some of it. If you're part of my quilt club, you know even more of what's going on. So today we're going to be doing a border design that's dog bones, or you can use it as an overall design or whatever you choose when you're once you're doing the design. You can put it pretty much anywhere. You can use it on placemats or anywhere you want. It's just kind of a fun dog bone design. We're going to be using our Mosaic ruler for this one. Oh, turn that around for you. Our Mosaic ruler for this one. For those that aren't familiar with Mosaic, this is the lovely overall design it creates on your quilt, and you can use that with different threads, different colors to create some really cool different textures, etc. But today we're going to be doing a border design. And the border design looks like a dog bone, which I think is kind of fun. And we're going to talk about how to move from one design to the next without cutting your thread every single time. They're called skip stitches. They're not as hard as you think, and I love them because it means I can continue on stitching without having to constantly break my thread and pull my bobbin thread up. So our design is going to look like this. And you can see there's a couple different options for spacing, and there's a couple different options for thread in there. Now, again, as always, now when I'm doing this, I've stitched this entire design with my Wonderfill dissolvable thread, a rinse and gone thread. I do sell it. It is on my website. You can buy it. So when this is all done and I finish filming this video, I'm going to be able to reuse this entire practice sandwich. When I spritz it with some water, let it sit for a minute, and then I'm going to pull the thread right off. It's going to be a piece of cake. In this video, if you want to check out the notes down below, I also have given you a code for free shipping. This is a limited time, so I'm not sure when you're going to see this video, but we're going to do a code for free shipping only because you guys are so awesome and have been so patient on YouTube waiting for me to kind of get back in the swing of things. So the code for free shipping is going to be YouTube 21. So you'll see that down below. I'll have a code written down below so you can use it. So again, YouTube 21 is going to give you free shipping until July 15th, 2025. So if you're watching this after that, sorry you missed out on the free shipping, but subscribe to my newsletter because I do often have some really fun little perks for people that subscribe to my newsletters. So we're going to make some fun dog bones. We're using our Mosaic ruler today. So I've got a line marked on my quilt here. Hopefully that you can see that. I just used a hair marker on there to give me a bit of a line. I can see it clearly. Hopefully it's showing up for you. I'm going to show you two different ways to do this. So I'm going to show you so that the dog bones are all joined, but I'm also going to show you how to create these dog bones with a thing called jump stitches. First thing we're going to do is I've got my thread locked here in this position. I'm going to lift my ruler foot up. I'm going to slide my ruler under, and then I'm going to slide along and go right to the point there, carefully bringing my ruler foot down. I tend to kind of want to lift my ruler up a little bit there just to kind of slide those so they're to the side and they don't get covered in my stitches. You can trim them if you want, but I like to just kind of keep them a little bit longer. And then also some people like to bury their threads, and that works as well. So you want to keep them a little bit longer if you're going to be doing that. I'm just going to tuck those out of the way. I want to make sure that this line here at the top is on the line that I've got marked on my quilt. That's going to be important because we're going to be using that center line all the way along. And if we're doing this in a border, we want to make sure that these dog bones are all lined up perfectly. Okay? So if you want to do these randomly on a quilt, you totally can too. So say you were doing a nice fun quilt that had a bunch of random dogs on it and you wanted to do random dog bones, you could do one dog bone and then move to the next one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the first dog bone here, or first little mosaic design. And you've seen in previous videos how to do the actual mosaic design. But for this one, we're going to do a dog bone. So I'm going to go down, over, following the inside of the ruler, taking an extra pause when I get to those points inside and outside to keep my points nice and sharp. And then when I reach the top of that, I am going to rotate my ruler so that this line is on my line. So you can see I'm in alignment here with the eye in Mosaic. That line that is in alignment with that all the way along this part of the duplicate line, which will help us line up our rows when we're doing the overall design, is in alignment with that marked line on my quilt. I'm going to stitch straight across. Then I'm going to slide my ruler and do one more. I could take this apart and use Spacey or a different ruler, but I find this works great, and you're not having to switch rulers then. I'm going to then turn my ruler. I'm going to slide my ruler back this way. Make sure I'm lined up nicely here. Go back down, over, down. Okay, so I did that as a double space, like here, doing this too. You could also do it more if you want. So if you want your dog bones further apart, you can do the same thing, but you can do it 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. You just want to remember how many you did. And then I want to bring this back down around again. And you get pretty quick at this once you do it a few times. So I've done two different spacings of dog bones. Now I'm going to do something a little different. Say, for example, I don't want this line that's in here between the dog bones. I kind of want the dog bones floating here. So what I can do at this point is I can do a couple little stitches. I'm going to lock my stitches just like you would as if you were finishing off your stitch line. I'm going to lift my needle so that my needle comes up. I'm going to lift my ruler foot so my ruler foot comes up. And then I am going to go across a determined amount of space. So I can go here. I know that's 1. I can slide my ruler. 2. So I would be where I'm stitching, but I'm not actually stitching. 3. And then I'm going to bring my ruler foot down, lock my stitches, drop my needle again, lock my stitches there, and then I can carry on and do the same thing. And then when I'm all done, I can just trim that loose piece of fabric in there. Now, the other thing you can do is we did bring up our ruler foot there. If you want to be a little bit more precise, you can have your ruler foot down. You just have to make sure your needle is up to pull that distance. The other thing you can do is if you know you want them a certain space apart, you can pre-mark that and then just do, it's called a jump stitch to the next one. This means we don't need to break our thread every single time and re-pull it up and everything. We can just do it this way. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my next dog bone, and I'll show you what the difference is. You may need to lift your ruler up a little bit because the sticky tape may catch on that thread that you've got loose there. And then I'm going to do my next one. And then when I go to do, what I want to do is this is half a row of a dog bone or a really nice border just as it is. But what I want to do is I want to rotate my ruler and then I'm going to slide it back through to do a mirror image of what I just did. Oh, sticky tape stuck on there. So I want to do the other side now. So because I did a jump stitch here, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to lock my stitches. I'm going to lift my needle, I'm going to lift my ruler foot, and then I'm going to rotate my ruler and do the same distance. I know what my distance is, but I'm going to show you what this would look like if I was doing this and I wanted to be more precise and kind of keep my ruler foot down. I can still use my ruler as my spacing spot. Remember to lift that up. I just need to make sure that I'm all lined up nice and square here. I can slide my thread along here. Then I can move my ruler, slide it along number 2, move my ruler, slide it along number 3. So I still, if I do it this way, have that reference of the ruler foot touching the ruler, so I know that my spacing will be consistent. And again, I'm just going to do a couple locking stitches, bring my needle back down, and then I'm going to rotate my ruler again. Now I've done my 2 jump stitches. I'm back set up so that I'm going to do the other side of my dog bone, and I want to make sure that I'm lined up nice and square here. I'm going to drop my ruler foot and carry on. And this one here, I didn't do jump stitches, so I can just double stitch on that, or again, I can use a jump stitch, but I'm just going to double stitch, make sure I'm nice and lined up, go nice and slow. Just follow along. You just want to make sure you're stitching on the same line. And go right back to your corner where you ended, and then we're going to turn our ruler. And we know that's not right because we want to be the mirror image. So we're just going to slide this through like this. I'm all lined up. I'm doing the mirror image of the one down here. Back to this point. And this one we only did 2. So I can line up here again. And I'm going to double stitch on top of that one. 1 and 2 back to my corner. And then slide this along. I overstitched on those threads because I didn't cut them. I'm okay with that. I can deal with that right after. And then I'm going to lift my ruler foot and move this out of the way, and then I'm going to show you what this looks like. So you can see here, pull that out of the way. You can see here we've got some nice dog bones. These ones are joined, and that's totally fine. Totally fine. These ones here, the way I did the jump stitches, I can come along and I trim my threads, I don't bury them. So I can just go ahead and trim that like that. And now I've got dog bones that are not attached. So 2 different ways to achieve the same thing. You can also, if you want, do one and then come back and around and do another one, and then do a jump stitch here to get to this point. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a line across here. So totally up to you. If you don't mind a line in the middle of your dog bone, you can do that, or you can jump stitch it. I always like when I'm doing a ruler design where it's like a mirror, I do one side and then come back and do the other side because I feel that eliminates the line through the center of my design. So there's 2 ways to create your dog bones, either by using the jump stitch or by using a straight line in the center. And again, 2 different ways to separate them. You can make them further apart if you want. I know a lot of people are going to ask me, so I'm just going to do a quick measurement here while I've got you. Each one of these dog bones is, couldn't get a bigger ruler, right, is approximately 5 inches. So this would fit in a 5-inch border just. You'd have to be very careful to make this fit in a 5-inch border. You could shorten this a little bit, which means when you started this, you could maybe not use this line, but you could mark your own line a little bit higher so that it shortens this centerpiece of the dog bone, and that will allow you to shrink that dog bone and fit it within 5 inches. But it would be perfect in a 6-inch border, 5.5-inch border, or just as an overall design on a quilt. Hey everyone, so I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you like that dog bone design. Please remember to check the comments down below and you will see how to get your free shipping. That's only in Canada and the US. If you're outside of those areas, send me a message because I can work a deal for you as well. Thank you for checking us out. Please remember to like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it. Have an amazing day.